everyone. My name is James Kilgore, and I'm an AmeriCorps service leader. Today I will be introducing Dr. Sonya Gaither. Dr. Sonya Gaither is a Georgia Peach born at Grady Hospital and raised in Atlanta, where the majority of her family lives. Her formative years started in Decatur and College Park, Georgia. After high school, Sonya obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science with a minor in Mathematics from LaGrange College. She earned her Master of Science degree in Library Services from Clark Atlanta University in 2003, received her Doctor of Education degree in Educational Administration from Georgia Southern University. Dr. Gaither received a Change Leadership Certificate from Cornell University in December 2019, and then started her first professional job in January 1995 as an academic librarian at Georgia Southern University. She has held numerous leadership positions, including the Director of Library Services at Clayton State College for nearly 5 years, and now proudly serves as the Dean of Libraries at Clayton State University since March 2019. She is a life member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated and the current president for the Rotary Club of Lake Spivey/Clayton County. Dr. Sonya Gaither serves on the Board of Trustees at her undergraduate alma mater, LaGrange College. She loves learning, sharing, has a heart for service, and loves her fur baby, a 6-year-old Yorkie Poo named Gizmo. Please welcome Dean of Libraries at Clayton State University, Dr. Sonya Gaither.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. All right, so I have a trivia question. What year did I start my first professional job?
2019.
My first professional job. 95, who said that? I have a gift for you, see me afterwards. All right. So I have a disclaimer. This is my truth. I'm sticking to it, and it has been approved by my mother. I have read this speech to her, so it's mom approved. And I do have my speech written out, so please forgive me as I read. If you are a Prince fan, you may be familiar with lyric excerpts from the Prince one himself. So, what is the answer to the question of you? What do I look for? What shall I do? All of the questions in my life will be answered. When I decide which road to choose, what is the answer to the question of you? Born premature at 1 pound 12 ounces at Grady Memorial Hospital, I came into this world curious, eager, and fighting. I had corrective heart surgery to fix a murmur when I was 4. I moved from Atlanta to Decatur to College Park during my formative years. I'm an original Georgia Peach. I'm sorry. With so many transplants from other states, people are sometimes surprised to hear that I am a true Georgia native. I am the oldest of my mother's 3 children and the middle of my father's 3 children. Well, 3 seemed to be a suitable number, so I thought I would have 3 children myself, but that didn't happen. Being an educator who has worked at 3 different University System of Georgia institutions over the last 26 years, actually, I have a lot more than 3 children. It's more like hundreds. Hundreds of students I have encountered since 1995 as their mentor, advisor, instructor, friend, or confidant. With that, I was happy to express my interest in sharing my educational journey as a Laker lesson speaker in hopes of helping you address the question of you. I was always a student that followed the rules most of the time, and I liked talking a lot in class until I didn't anymore. So let me set the stage for you before I continue my story. I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, and went to college and began working professionally in the 90s. I was a latchkey kid. How many of you know what that is? That's a kid that comes home from school while your parents are at work, and you do your homework, watch TV, and have a snack until the parent comes home from school. My earliest student memories were of me playing with my preschool friends and me graduating from kindergarten. I even remember my mom enrolling me in first grade. When I met the principal, he told my mom, we won't have to worry about her because she's a good girl. During this time, principals could paddle students. My principal would see other students with their parents during enrollment as well. He went into his office and brought out his fiberglass paddle with a big red flame on it. I took one look at that, him and my mom, and I said, yes, sir, you won't have any problems from me. And my mom agreed. Her next message to me was, if I have to come up to this school for any reason other than a good progress report, you know you won't have to worry about the principal because I'll get you myself. Needless to say, they had no problems out of me until I was in the 5th grade. I've always had good grades, but I began to socialize. I couldn't stop talking and always had unsatisfactory on my report cards for conduct. My gift of gab would serve me well during my career, although I hated taking public speaking in high school and college. So my mom came to the school a couple of times. One time, I was unprepared for one of my math tests, and listening to one of my classmates, I cheated on that test. My math teacher was a church member and sang in the choir with my mom. When I received my midterm report card, not only did I have unsatisfactory for conduct, but I had an F in math. Now I was in really big trouble. I was punished for sure. But my saving grace was being tested to see why I was unprepared for math. As it turned out, I needed more challenging work to do. It wasn't because I didn't understand. I didn't want to do the work because I was bored. So my mom bought me a lot of activity books to keep me busy after I had completed my homework. The second time my mom came to school was for my non-stop talking. My mom told my teacher to give me extra work in class to keep me busy. I would finish all of the assigned work and the extra work too. So the teacher called my mom. When my mom arrived, the teacher said I had completed all my assignments plus all the extra work she had given me, but I still kept talking. At that point, my mom said, and my mom had to remind me about this and told me to put this in my speech. That's why I said this is mom approved. She said, well, just sit her desk outside the classroom. She can't talk to herself. That definitely cured my talking in class from that point on, because I didn't want to sit in the hallway by myself while other students walked by looking at me. With me completing all that extra work, I got better at math, but I was also sent to the reading lab. So why the reading lab? Again, the plan was to keep me busy. But as it turned out, this was one of the best things as I learned how to speed read. I use speed reading to this day to help me when I need to read lots of information in a short amount of time. I even started going to the school library more and helping the librarians out. Future career spoiler alert, and I didn't even know. So give me 1 second, there's something I need to show you all. There's a picture being circulated of me when I made the newspaper in the 5th grade in the school library. That's circulating around. Fast forward to 7th grade, where students in a single class were grouped according to math ability, and the teacher worked with each other group throughout the class. The teacher worked with each group throughout class time. I was the only girl in my group, and we excelled to the highest math level of our grade. We had completed all the math she could teach us according to the defined curriculum at the time, and she needed to fill the remainder of our class time with something for us to do. So our teacher taught the 7 of us how to use an Apple computer, and we learned new computer skills. That was the beginning of my love for computers and math, and all born from those elementary school experiences. Now I'm ready for high school. Middle schools had not been created yet. My first high school memory was of me walking into the building with my mom for 8th grade orientation and walking into this very nice lady who was shorter than me. I was so scared and stuck so close to my mom, she couldn't walk. The lady looked over her glasses and asked if she could help us, and she turned out to be my guidance counselor. She also told my mom, she is quiet, but I can tell she is really smart. I'm going to watch out for her, so you won't have to worry about her. Well, she did just that, and we stayed in contact until she passed away in 2017. I took upper level math and English courses, including AP History and AP Calculus. I was also in the Talented and Gifted program for a while. By this time, I was so quiet in my classes, but I did socialize in band and during other extracurricular events at school. My self-confidence vacillated, which I was good at hiding. By this time, there was no need for my mom to make any special trips to the school, even though I was failing a geometry class at one point in the 9th grade, but I pulled out a hard-earned C. As the end of my senior year approached, I was ready to go to college. I entered college scared of everything and everybody. I wanted to go home every weekend in my first quarter, but my mom said no, stay on campus and make some friends. I was 45 minutes away from home. I had family that stayed in the town. That's where she grew up, and she would not let me come home. She made me stay on campus. So I followed all the rules. I asked no questions to explore outside of class, did just what I was told, and did my assignments. I made my class schedules based on the catalog outline for my major. I was independent in that way and never asked for help from my advisor. I don't remember my advisor's name. Registrations were usually 3 hours or longer in person using paper, pencil, and punch cards. And everything was done by hand, not electronic like it is using the duck. I did begin to loosen a little as I approached my 21st birthday. I hung out with my friends and went to basketball games. Most of my friends were a year or two older than me, so when they graduated, I cried until one day I realized I was amongst the most popular on campus. My last quarter, registration was finally automated, and it took me 15 minutes. Talking about being happy, that was the highlight of my last semester. I knew I needed 5 math classes to earn my computer science degree and found out you only needed 6 for a math minor. Well, I had worked so hard in improving my math skills over the years that I now genuinely enjoyed math. Why not take that one extra class? So I did and earned that math minor. To this day, math is something I use daily to manage both my personal and library budgets to oversee my day-to-day needs and library operations. Taking those math classes also showed me how to methodically find solutions to the problems I encounter. Without thinking or asking questions about halfway through the last quarter of my senior year in undergrad, I realized I was graduating and hadn't made any plans. I panicked. I was like 3 weeks away from graduation. Oh Lord, what am I gonna do? I knew I had to give a presentation for my senior computer science class, seminar class, and take all my finals. But I hadn't created a resume, started searching for any jobs. Luckily for me, I worked in the library as a student assistant with my godfather, and he talked to me about getting my master's in library service. After all, I liked working in the library, and I saw computers being installed in that library. I then realized I could combine the two. Now I had a plan. I was continuing my education. A year later, I was finished with another degree in my hand, allowing me to properly plan for my next steps. So I applied for several jobs and eventually landed my first professional job. I still was not satisfied with my accomplishments and had another burning desire to go back to school. People thought I was crazy, but I didn't care. So in 1998, I went back, this time to earn my doctorate. And in 2019, after I came here, I earned a Change Leadership Certificate. By this time, I had learned so many lessons from kindergarten to my doctorate, which helped me answer the question of you for myself. I could go on with more stories, especially those related to graduate school and the personal challenges I faced. However, I'll stop so I can tell you how I answered the question of you for myself. While I learned some of these lessons some time ago, I am still learning. And that is good because we are lifelong learners and we are always evolving, even if we never go back to formal school. So here are my top 10 lessons. Number 1, play nice in the sandbox. There is plenty of space for everyone and plenty of things to do. Share and appreciate the diversity and uniqueness of everyone and the ideas presented. Learn from the diversity, collaborate, and appreciate each other. Lesson number 2, don't stop learning. Ask questions and ask for help. Find those things that interest you and don't always settle or accept someone's ideas or plans for your life or let them change your mind about what you like or want to do. You may change your mind, and that is okay. Just remember, it is your mind to change. Do so by gathering all the data and information you need to make those choices. Lesson number 3, it is good to follow the rules, but be curious, and don't be afraid to color outside the lines. Try something new or different. Don't be afraid to take chances on yourself. Just do it and try not to hurt yourself. We want to see Laker Nation in the news for good, not bad. Lesson 4, find out what makes you unique and celebrate that even if no one else does. What brings you joy and comfort? Figure that out. Have fun and travel. Live, love, laugh, and dance like there is no tomorrow, and do it all like no one is watching. Lesson number 5, get involved. Give, say thank you, and appreciate everyone in your circle that supports you. Remember to help others. Lesson number 6, read. Retain the history and civics information that you have read or learned from classes. It matters because you'll always need to know about the history of something to understand what is happening in the present. Be engaged, vote, speak up and speak out. See something, say something. Elections matter, especially at the local level. Lesson number 7, whatever you do, remember you'll help take care of the generation that came before you while preparing for the future of the generation coming behind you. You are your brothers and sisters' keepers, and it is your business as to what is going on in the world. We must help each other. Relationships do matter, so put the cell phones down sometime and have a conversation. Lesson number 8, have faith in yourself. Think positively. Believe you can. Keep a positive support circle around you. It's okay to let go of naysayers and anyone else that does not support your goals and dreams. Let go sooner rather than later. Your circle should also be able to share with you in love regarding missteps or wrong directions to get you back on track, so listen to them. Lesson number 9, never stop growing. Keep evolving. Fight for yourself when no one else will. Keep on pushing. Never stay the same, but remain positive and loving always. Every day is a new day to learn something new and do something different. And here's a bonus lesson. Plan ahead. Do your research. Always be prepared. You never know when the opportunity may come your way. Someone is always watching you, even if you don't realize they are, and they're preparing a place for you at the table. Hopefully, I have given you something to think about as you ponder which road you would choose on your self-discovery tour to answering the question of you. Thank you for allowing me to share with you today, and I'll take some questions at this time.
Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you for sharing. I was saying that thank you for sharing. I don't have a question, but thank you.
You're welcome. Other questions or statements?
Hey, like as a kid or as you were growing up, other than being talkative a lot, what were other challenges you had?
That was it. I just talk too much. I still talk too much. Yes.
Do you ever sometimes wonder, like, who you are? Like, do you think you have it all figured out, or do you think that there's still some areas that you're just like, sometimes I don't know who I am?
That's a great question. Yes, I still ask myself that question. As a matter of fact, in the last month, I've been having that thought. And so I just take the time to read, I pray and meditate, and talk to my inner circle, and try to, sometimes I feel like I'm off track, so I try to get back on track, and then I'll just talk with them, and then they'll, encompass me and say, hey, you're doing fine, or maybe you need to think about this. So yes, I still have those thoughts as recently as this past month, so yes. There's a question in the back. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So, growing up, other than math and reading, did you discover any other passions?
Outside of math, reading, and computers, no, that was it. I couldn't draw. I like to write, but I couldn't write a full story. I can do it now, but no. Outside of those three things, those were my areas that I love. There's one here, and then we'll come to you.
Hi. Do you have any book recommendations for personal growth?
Being the dean of libraries, I can't tell you a book title. I always tell people I am an unusual librarian. I tell you what, if you come to the library and ask for me, I can sit down and kind of tell you some of the things that I read. I do a lot of inspirational, so I jump from book to book, or I do a lot of YouTube videos or different things like that. So it's not like one thing that I do. And so I can't give you exact titles right now, but I can get you some later. Yeah. There's a question right here, and then I think there was another one over here.
Have you ever fallen out of love with being a librarian or working with computers? And if so, how did you regain that passion?
Yes, I have. That was because I had, going back to the boredom and being challenged. So the same way that you can be bored and unchallenged in classes, you can be bored and unchallenged in your job as well. And so I've had that to happen. And what I've tried to do is go back and go through professional development workshops and conferences to rebuild myself. And if that does not work, then it's probably time for me to change my jobs, which I did twice. And so that's why I'm here now, and I'm loving my job. And so every day is a new opportunity for me with new challenges, getting to know all of you. And so I love it. So I have had that issue of being tired of something in my professional career and wanting to do something more or something different or something better. So yes.
I was gonna give you a book that really helped me with personal growth. It's Black Girls Must Die Exhausted by Jane Allen. It's a great book. I know they sell it at Barnes & Nobles, and I know it's on sale right now for like $14. So if you want to read it, it's a really good book.
And you can come check it out to see if we have it in the library too. Was there another question? All right, so let's see. I have a few more prizes up here. Let's see what kind of questions can I ask you guys. All right, can somebody tell me anything that they know about the library? Okay, wait a minute, let's stand back. Let's do that again because I didn't see your hands. All right, let's see. I think I saw this hand right here.
The library has the printing services and also study areas you can learn out for groups and organizations.
All right, if I told you that you want a gift, you come up here and I'll give it to you. I know you won one. All right, you had a...
So I know there's 2 levels of the library. The top is usually for research and things like that, and the bottom is where you can find most of your books, like nonfiction and all those type of categories. Also, they have computers that you can do, and also a nice sitting area where they have chairs and other things like that where you can sit, and you can also have a silent room if you want total quiet.
Great.
What I know about the library is that it is a unique place where anything can happen. Because like you can easily enjoy a good book. Like, because when I like to read, I like to imagine myself actually in the stories, like experiencing like what the characters go through. It's just really a place that is really calm and relaxing. And if you have like homework or needs help with research projects, there's always a computer around, and you can get whatever you need to done.
Good job. Thank you. All right, a question coming from my speech. So, I talked a lot. Basically, my grandmother, when I was a baby, about 6 months old, she always, I had to have a baby bed that I could see, because she told my uncle to buy me a baby bed, but I couldn't see, so take that back and go get her one with it had little slits in it so I could look through, okay? So from that time on, I started talking to her and everybody else, and the same thing with school. So I started talking and getting in trouble. What grade? 5th grade. And what happened to me that caused me to stop talking? Can you just answer? Yes, back here in the back.
You had to get your desk put outside the classroom.
What is one lesson that I shared with you all from the talk? Okay, you got her ahead. So somebody that hasn't won anything. Yes.
To play nice.
Play nice. And when you hear that, what does that mean to you?
It means to be kind to others and be appreciative of the things around you and always trying to socialize on a positive level.
Yeah, play nice. Be nice. Yep. All right, let's see. Can somebody tell me something that they learned? Somebody who has an answer. Yes. Yes. There is plenty of space for all of us. Yes.
I like the part about finding the balance between social and academic life.
Yes. That is definitely important because you don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to do too much of one or too much of the other. And that's something that I've had to learn over the years. And so going back to your question, I'm still learning that and have to remember to pull back on some things so I can have that balance. One of the things that I've learned that I didn't share with you was my sister is a internationally known DJ, and she travels all over. And one of her biggest tours, she was a DJ for Oprah on the Life You Want tour. And I got a chance to spend some time with her on that tour. And that conference really helped me at a time in my life where I really needed to step back and review where I was at the time, because I was going through a lot of different challenges and changes in my life. And so that conference really helped me with that process. And one of the things that we did at that conference was, as Oprah had different female DJs every day during that conference, they played all upbeat music, with inspirational messages, and they encouraged everybody to dance. And I found, growing up, I liked to dance, but I was ashamed of myself when I was telling you earlier about, me being quiet, and, my self-esteem was up and down. Well, it was at that concert, that conference, that I learned to say, forget what other people think. I'm going to dance like there's no tomorrow, and I've been dancing ever since. So now every time I go somewhere and I hear music, I'm dancing, and my mom is like, there she goes again, she won't sit down. Nope, I'm not gonna go sit down, because that's what makes me feel good. So you're still going through the learning process. Doesn't matter how old you are, you're still gonna be learning. Other questions? Any other questions or comments? Let's see, did everybody get a gift? Who did I miss? Everybody got something? Any other questions? All right, well, if not, thank you so much. I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and I hope that you were able to get something out of my speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gaither, for sharing your experience with our students and staff. Can you give her one more round of applause, please?